Hello, this is Sarah at My Crafty Corner. Welcome back. Well, I've got, let's see, what we've got going here for the second part is making or wrapping our covers. And so I've kind of already done the large, which is the main one that we're doing here. And it's going to be a landscaped album. And what I've done is I've made it to where when I cut my papers down, which I've already done except with these few right here, is there won't be a lot of off-cut pieces. I'm trying to get it to where I have as least little bits and pieces left over as I possibly can. And so what I've done is I did go ahead and I cut down, let's see what I did with it. I did cut down my papers, all of them, just because this is 8.5 by 11. So anyways, I cut them down. So, you know, they would have been like this, 8.5 by 11. So I cut them down to, of course, it's going to be 8.5 by 7. All right. And then this should be able to mat our pages and also mat, we will have some cut off pieces, but this piece, we'll have to trim some off here, but it should mat our little end piece here so that it will continue like the page from here on. And I'll show you that once we get into doing the pages and stuff. So with that, since I cut that, with that I had this top piece left over, right? And it measures, well, I mean, it's what's left over, so 8.5, and that's by 4. So I thought when I trimmed down my my chipboard, what it did is it left me, and I've already cut this stuff down because at first I hadn't intended on really doing the covers on here. I've done so many of those, but I thought I would anyways. So I cut down my chipboard. I had 2 pieces, 12 by 12 chipboard. And when I trimmed that down, I ended up having like a strip, so like it would have been like this left over plus some, I guess, right? And I thought, well, I have these 2 long pieces left over, and then I had a couple of other little you know, bits like this left over, and I think I have one more, but Oliver has it playing with it, but that's okay. So with those 2 pieces left over, I just took the entire strip. Woo, sorry, I bumped you. Okay, what I did is I just took that 12 that was left over, which is 4.5, I believe. Yeah, 4.5. So I just took that and I cut it down so that I would have a front, a back, and a spine. And I did that twice because I had 2 pieces left over. So I already have one little bitty one. So we're gonna make a couple of little minis with using these cut off pieces here. And this will work by actually we could do more than one because these we can even cut in half to make those work. So I'm gonna put that to the side. And I thought what I would do, since I already have these 2 wrapped, I will tell you the measurements for the large one, what we're doing, what the covers will be. So that's gonna be, you're gonna cut your chipboard down to 7.5 by 9.25. And I will double check mine. So yeah, that's 9.25 by 7.5. And then you'll need 2 that size, and then your spine is gonna be 1.5 by 7.5. And I prefer, you can, of course, this part here, you can adjust however you want to do or however many pages you want. I like doing the 2, I like a thinner spine because it's just easier for me to hold in my hand and not be so bulky. So I like that. And then 2, you can add plenty enough flips and flaps and pockets and things attached to these to do that with. So I thought what I would do is wrap the smaller one here on camera. So what you'll need for that is you're gonna need your cut off piece of 12.5 by 4.5, and you're going to cut that down. You're going to cut 2 pieces at 4.5 by 5.25. So you have those. I already have mine backed with my tape, and I just used the big 6-inch roll to do mine. And then your spine piece is 4.5 by 1.5. Okay, and we'll have 2 of those. And then you also need a piece of cardstock cut to 4.25 by 4, and this is going to be this piece here, right, when we get it all together. And then you'll need, if you're doing 2, you'd need 2 at, you need 2 of those, and then you'd need your little hinge piece that goes in here. And I don't have this one in the other one yet. What did it, oh, this one. So this one will go here, and this one will go for the one we're fixing to wrap. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in here before we get started on that. Also, you're gonna need, sorry, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit. Okay, so also you're gonna need 2 pieces of 12 by 12 of your cardstock, whatever you are using. You could still use 8.5 by 11, but I used a 12 by 12 because then you cut it down to 6, and that still gives you, you get a wrap out of both sheets for both albums, right? And then you attach that. I attached mine with, I used 1/4-inch tape, and I put down two pieces and attached that together. And then we're not going to cut the ends off until we get these laid down. I mean, you could, but I didn't measure that far out. So we'll attach these, and then we'll trim off our edge pieces. So I did not cut mine straight, and that's okay. All right, so first, let me go ahead and put this down. And these papers here I left out. I did not trim these down because your papers for your covers need to be slightly larger. And I still could have, but I didn't because I'm not exactly sure. I do know that I'm going to use this, this one here on the front with the blue, and I might even do a multi-layered mat, but we'll see. And then I have the blue. I'm gonna add this blue ticking with that, and then for the inside, I kept out the red. And then I also have 2 pieces of just white cardstock that I think I am going to ink with fired brick around the edges to make mats, because I don't have any red cardstock. I'm out of red cardstock. So, or if I did, I wouldn't have enough for this project. So I think I'm gonna do that. So I kept these out. And also, this is a new from Tim Holtz. No, is it Ranger? Yes, Ranger. Right, yes. Wood grain, distressed gray, 2-tone wood grain. I have the black, but I think I'm going to use this one, and I think you can still, we're probably going to turn it a little more to the brown, but it still pulls out some of the highlights in there. So I think what we're going to do to this is I'm going to make a frame, like cut the center part out here and make like a frame on the front of the book, or a photo mat, or yeah, so you can pull that in and out. It's my idea. Don't know how that'll work. It may end up changing, but I've got all of these right here together for just in case. So I'm just going to set these to the side for now and put this back. And also I'm going to set these papers aside as well, because we don't need those just right this second either. Alrighty, let me go ahead and put this one down. Do I want to use, yeah, why not? I already got it open. So I'm just going to use tacky glue. Woo, make a mess before I get it on there. Now, normally I would use score tape, but on the craft, I prefer using this tacky glue or even the Fabri-Tac. And so since I have that already, I know this is kind of going backwards on this one. But like I said, I wasn't going to actually do the tutorial part of this on here because I mean, it's pretty much the same way. I was just going to give the measurements, but then I had ended up doing these, and I was like, I might as well just go ahead and do it that way. So, okay. Just give it that, and it's okay if it eases out. To me, you would prefer it to be as much to the edge as you can get it, because that means that it'll be sealed down really well. And then just wipe that off, yeah. Okay. So then there that is. So this one is ready to have pages. Right. Set that one to the side. And then we'll start with this other. I'm going to put these two pieces to the side for now. Alrighty. Get my ruler here. Okay, so with the two at 12 by 6, so cut your paper down, your 12-inch cardstock down to 6, and then you're going to attach it together. I used a 1/2 inch, so 2 pieces of 1/4 inch score tape. All right, and then actually, I tell you what I am going to do. Or am I? I think I'm going to trace, like, okay, I'm just going to lay my ruler down on here. Like this. Well, lining it up so, because it should be to where it has 3/4 of an inch all the way around. And it's probably going to be off a little bit because, like I said, I didn't cut my paper quite that great. And I'm just going to draw a line down through here. And move that down just a little. Like that. And it doesn't have to go all the way to the end because, like I said, we're going to cut that off. But something to go by. Alrighty. On these, I'm using the score tape. Actually, on the larger album, I didn't. I used some score tape and glue. And you do it the same way, but since this one was smaller, I thought I would put it in here. So I'm just going to take this one and lay it down. And so I want the center of the back side of this to be to the center of this one. So this is going to look like it's going to be probably about 1/4 inch from the edge there. And I'm just going to line that up on that mark and lay it down like that. And then stick that down. and smooth it out. So then when we fold our pages, this is going to be that line where they meet is going to be in the center part of our spine. Alrighty, and then we'll take our, let's see, our 1/4 inch score tape or double-sided tape, whatever you've got. And I'm just gonna line it up right against, excuse me, right against that chipboard. All right, so do that on the opposite side also. And then we're gonna take our 2 pieces here. Let's see. Oop. Well, these bigger sheets of adhesive especially for, well, small and big, but for these, I find it a little harder with the bigger pieces because like my hand can grip this one. The bigger ones, it's a little more challenging, but they just help to make sure everything is stuck down really well. All right, so I'm just gonna line this up to that. Actually, I'm putting the line here to the edge of this chipboard and then lining this one up with that one right to the score tape, like so, and then give that a press. You see it does line up with our line there, so just kind of helps. And then we're going to do this one the same way. And we'll do it this way. Okay, that looks good to me. Okay, and so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in on the edges and I'm going to line it up to where I have 3/4 of an inch going this way. So I'm lining this up right with, so this is a Tim Holtz roller. So if you're using the same roller, it's going to be that center, the center line there. And I'm just going to line that up and then I'm going to mark it so that I know where to cut my paper at. And I'll do the same with this side. Color on my, mark on my sheet. Okay. And then we'll just trim that off. And then we can use, let me just erase that, but we can still use that piece as a tag or something else. And it may not line up exactly. I'm just gonna trim it like that. So those might not even be that straight. You might have more here. It's fine. It's fine. So I'm gonna take, do I wanna do, because I have a little bit of difficulty. That one's gonna hang off the edge. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna take the 1/4 inch and I'm gonna go around right. And so now what I'm gonna do is take my score tool and I'm just gonna run it along the outside of my chipboard. Okay. And then we're gonna take it and we're gonna lean it up on itself like that. To give it a good, start preparing it to bend. You know. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same with this other side. Sometimes with the craft, because especially this craft, because it is kind of stiff and thick, you just have to work it and it will do what it needs to. Of course, the shorter sides are easier. Cat hairs, okay. And then do the same here. And then we're going to go through and we're going to cut our corners. And when we folded that out, you can kind of see. Now, I'm cutting mine a little bit at an angle because this one, I got a little too much and a little too much. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but I kind of cut that a little bit, curved it in, and leaving about 1/8 of an inch there. They make those corner tools, but I don't have one of those. I need to get me one of those. That would make this so much easier, I'm sure. But I don't have one, so we'll just do it this way. All right. And then we will peel it off and stick it down. Ooh, actually, I wanted to, because mine was off, I'm actually gonna trim. Would have been easier to see. I'm gonna trim right up to where that tape's at. Just to make sure that the edges stick down really good. So, yeah. And there we go. So then that's wrapped that way. All right, so then we're gonna take our two other pieces, and we've got this one. It is a 4 1/4 by 4. And I wish I had already had this kind of taped up. I'm gonna use the other side here though, because I don't want writing on that side. I'm actually going to go ahead. I wish I went ahead and used the 3/4 on the top and the bottom too, but I'm going to go ahead and, for some reason I was thinking that I would have too much there, but I didn't, so we'll just go through and add that one there, and that's good. Like that. Make sure we got them pressed down good. Alrighty. And then we'll go through and peel them all up. All right, so here's what, excuse me, I'm so sorry. This morning, we turned the heat on here for the first time. It was a little chilly when I got up this morning, and it's just kind of got me all choked up. So the way I do on this piece here, I kind of just go with it. But if you, because we want to push this down into these grooves as well. So when I lay it down, I kind of hold it with my hand and only press the center. If that's hard for you, just only peel off the center and leave your top pieces here and leave the side pieces on until you get it down. That way then that doesn't stick. I tend to just do it this way. And I'm going to get up so that I'm kind of over it here. And I'm just going to eyeball it to the center, leaving the same amount on top and bottom. And I'm just going to hold this side up and press this side down. Take my, and I realize you can't really see that good because I got my hand in the way. But right where I know that groove's at, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to run it in there. Still holding this side up. And then I'm just going to kind of press that side down. Like that. Okay. And then do the same on this side. Press this down. Press this in there. And then press that down. And then fold it up and see how it does. And there we go. So there's our little covers. Yeah, those look better than the other one, but it's fine. I mean, you might not even can tell if I hadn't pointed it out to you. So, yeah. And then after we've got that, we're going to put this one down on here also. So I'm just going to glue it. And I will tell you the measurements for the ones you needed for the larger one. And of course, you don't have to make the small ones if you don't want to. I just didn't want to have a lot left over. And I know I'll have... you know, a couple little projects, and that would be the little ones here, even the large one, but the little ones would be great for gifts, stocking stuffers, or just a little present. And you don't have to smooth that out. I just guess I like put my fingers in the glue. All right, so for me, some people, they go down and they stick it down like this trying to line it up. I straighten mine back out, because this is 1.5 inches, our spine is 1.5 inches. So if you line the edge of this cardstock up with the edge here and line it up top and bottom, it's gonna be in there pretty straight and the way it needs to be. And then I'll just go through and squish it out. Like that. Okay. So there it is. That's in. Started glue on me. And I hope I had enough glue on the back of that one. I didn't have quite as much on the back of it as I did the other one, but tacky glue is usually really good. So there it is. And so how this should work then too, when we go to cut down our 12 by 12s, because I end up with scrap pieces. Like, I wish I should show you. I have little envelope package thingies, or, you know, full of just scraps. And because when I get to crafting, I just cut. And I'm trying to not have my desk littered with so many little offcut pieces. Like the last one, I had so many. Now I can still use those, but they're not organized. They're just kind of all thrown together. So for this album, or albums, I'm gonna try my best not to have that happen. So that way my desk is not a complete disaster. Or the cats get up here and they like to chew on the papers. But anyways, so that's what I've got for this one. I think we'll end this here with the covers. So we have these. Oh, before we do though, I will tell you. Okay, so I think I already said, but I'll do it again so that you'll know the large one, what it's supposed to be. 7.5 by 9 1/4, 1.5 by 7.5 inch spine, and then the same thing for your little flap here. It needs to be 1.5 by 7. Well, it needs to be 1.5 by 7 1/4 actually, to give you 1/8 of an inch on both top and bottom. And then this piece that we, you know, put here, it is 4 by 7 1/4. And so yeah, there it is. And mine are a little crooked. I don't know what it did, but they're a little crooked. So, but that's okay. I think once it sits up, it will be fine. So, all right. So there's our covers wrapped and ready to go to add pages. And so that's going to be the next little step is going to be to add pages. Probably what I will do though, I will probably just work on this one, and then I will go back and do these two afterwards instead of doing them all at one time. That way I can keep them separate from the other. So I'm just going to take these two and set them to the side here. I will call it done for this video, and that's what I got for you. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Click that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload videos. And thank you for watching. Bye.